Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill Show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network, where we ask you to review, and review again, my friends. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And of course, if that review includes a 5-star review, we'll kiss you on the lips. And
Ooh.
Welcome.
Wait, what? Be careful what you promise there.
Welcome to episode 72. One above the age of, well, we were just talking about him before we went on the podcast. Mr. Belichick. I have my Belichick.
Right. BJ is wearing, for those of you not watching on video, which is everybody not watching, BJ is wearing his gray hoodie with, he's got his his big tan black earphones on. And yeah, he looks, you need like to be carrying a clipboard or something like that or whatever. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I got a gray t-shirt on myself here, boy. We're black and gray today, and it's a gray kind of, we should tell folks, we're actually recording this on Sunday before the week when it comes out. Tomorrow is MLK Day. Not that would stop us from recording. I mean, but it's a holiday for some folks. And so, it works better this way. So this one time, here you go.
Just tell them the truth. Your lady friend has the day off.
My lady friend has the day off in Jacksonville tomorrow.
Spend the day with her.
Yes, I am.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Okay, I'm not.
Bill is taking the day off tomorrow.
I am. And and then while I'll be like St. Augustine tomorrow, as we record this, I'll be St. Augustine. I'll come home. And then the next day I'm getting up and I'm driving down to Sarasota because I've got a couple of computer clients that need to see me. So, I'll be happy to take their money, but even if it is a 2 or 3 hour drive, but if I can bunch a couple of them together, which I've done successfully, I'll go down and visit a few people live and make some money and drive back that night. So there you go.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's my plan. Anyway, that's my plan. Yes.
I'm going to have a fun week.
What are you up to?
My wife is leaving town.
Oh, wow. Big party at BJ Odom's house.
Yeah,
well,
no kidding. One of her girlfriends is having a birthday.
Uh-huh.
And so there's 4 of them all together. They're all flying out and meeting in New Orleans.
Ooh, New Orleans. Nice. Now, I got to be honest. I have never been to New Orleans. I've had many friends go there and say it's well, of course it is what it is. It's, one of the party capitals of the world, but I have never been to New Orleans. Have you ever been there?
I have never been there. And I really, I shouldn't get into this on the podcast, but I have asked my wife many of times, like on our trips to Indiana, because, we always have like a 2 or 3 extra days.
Right.
Why don't we zip down to New Orleans and spend a day or 2?
Right.
And then come home. No, I don't want to go to New Orleans. No, I don't want to go to New Orleans.
Oh, I see. But now that it's a girls thing out, they're going to New Orleans without BJ.
Yeah. And she does say she still doesn't want to go to New Orleans, but she's going with her friends.
Interesting.
I know, isn't it though?
Yes. Is it one of those Las Vegas things? What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas?
Probably
the same. It's probably the same in New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah. When you got 4 women all together, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? I think they should meet up with my good buddy and your buddy too, Jim Sion, while they're there.
That's right. Jim is there too, right? Yes.
Now,
where would you expect a tuba player to end up?
No kidding. And he's living the dream right now because he's playing his tuba, in one of those New Orleans jazz bands.
Mm-hmm.
And He's working part-time on one of the television stations there doing weather in New Orleans.
That's awesome. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? I mean, you probably don't have weekends to yourself. You're probably booked for the weekend, but then you have weekdays, which is actually better for shopping and taking care of running errands and everything like that. Yeah.
Of course it is New Orleans. I don't know how many nights a week they play there. And I think he does mornings, which has got to be brutal to do mornings and play in a jazz band, but he only does weekend mornings, I believe, and fill in stuff.
Weekend morning weather guy, which means he's probably up at 4:00 in the morning.
If not before.
Well, I was up, I don't know about you, I was up at 4:15 every weekday for as long as I did morning, for 20 years. Who knows?
But we didn't have to put on makeup.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, you didn't have to look pretty. The only person that was seeing me in the morning was you, and you looked as bad as I did. So that's fine. That's all good.
Yeah, because hair usually never got washed.
No.
It's always like after the show we might go clean up.
Lucky if I thought to shave the night before or something like that. So anyway, he's probably living it up. And like you said, if he does weekend mornings, and then, oh my gosh, if he's doing Friday night, Saturday night jazz band stuff, yeah, those are probably all-nighters. Friday night, Saturday night could easily be all-nighters, and then sleep during the week.
So now, in my wife's defense,
I didn't know she needed defending, but go ahead.
She did say at one point, she goes, well, you are more than welcome to go with us. And
oh,
but
she wasn't serious.
I know. And what's you got one husband,
right,
with 4 women that want to, go out and have parties, and dear,
yeah, she was, I give her credit. She was being nice to you, but in the back of her mind, she's going, please say no, please say no, please say no, please say no.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
You know what I should have done? I should ask Jim if I could stay at a room at his place.
There you go.
There's that.
Yeah, but you're fine. You're fine.
Well, that's doing this podcast also on a Sunday. Really, we only had 2 games in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I know your Cleveland Browns are now gone.
Boy, they're not only gone, they laid an egg on the way out the door. I mean, terrible.
The first quarter of that game, though, seemed like, oh, this is going to be a game.
Yes. First half almost. I mean, first half was what, 17-14 or something like that for Houston? Yes. And then 2 pick sixes almost back to back. I mean, I think they almost were back. And I'm like, oh my God, poor Joe Flacco and the rest of I don't know what the Browns are going to do.
I don't think Ohio is Flacco for Flacco anymore. What was
Wacko for Flacco?
Yeah, that was
Flacco.
it. Yeah,
in Cleveland. Of course, in Columbus, they're loving life because C.J. Stroud with the Texans was Ohio State's quarterback, so they're loving life. So okay, good for them. I get it. Good for you.
I don't think my son has done it, but my son, I told you this story the other day. He collects autographed helmets.
Yes.
From famous football quarterbacks.
Yes.
And he has the top 3. He has Mahomes.
Really?
He has Peyton Manning.
Wow.
And he has one from, and it is on a New England helmet, not a
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Wow.
And I was telling him, because I was looking, I go, man, you must have paid some money for these helmets. He goes, yeah, but they're investments.
That kind of true.
And
kind of, as long as you can. Now, does he have?
Yeah, he has the proof of
paperwork, documentation, whatever, to show that it's okay. Good.
And I told him, and this was back after the Texans walloped on, the Buccaneers.
Right.
I said, son, right now, while the going is low, you should grab one of those helmets.
Oh, from Stroud, from CJ Stroud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did go online and he says, I can get one for around $500.
Okay.
He said there was one on eBay with paperwork for like 500, another one for 700.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he didn't grab either one, but he should have.
Yeah, because it just doubled. I mean, I don't know that. I haven't looked, but I didn't see. Helmets I would not have thought of, but they don't have. It's not like baseball. They don't have trading cards. They don't have. You can't buy somebody's famous trading card. By the way, I've heard that it's bad if they sign the card. I've heard that takes away the value. But never mind. Back to football. So yeah, I've seen jerseys, signed jerseys. You go into sports bars and you see them all the time. But I've not helmets. That's interesting. And boy, you really got to have. I mean, if you have a big collection, that could take up some space because those things that's monstrous. Yeah.
I think he's got like 5 or 6.
Awesome.
And I don't know who all he's got, but I know he's got the big. That's what he says.
Big three. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Yeah, that's as big as it gets for sure. Yeah,
so he's got those 3.
Cool. Well,
and he should have listened. He should have listened to his old man. But I don't think he did.
Yeah, no, nobody ever listens to their old man. Yeah, I mean, not that I have kids to not listen to me, but I never listened to my old man. So what?
Yeah, because we were both kids. We were.
Yeah. So there you go. So just to finish the football thing, I don't know what my Cleveland Browns are going to do next year because Flacco's going to be 40 really soon. I think he's coming up on 39 next month. But anyway, he's going to be 40.
But Close. Don't they have somebody already too that's injured?
Deshaun Watson, former Houston Texans quarterback, who they paid. I am not kidding. $230 million for in a completely, fully guaranteed contract, and they gave up a ton of draft picks.
Even if he got hurt?
The worst. Huh?
Even if he got hurt?
I read fully guaranteed as fully guaranteed. I don't know that. But even when it happened, even last preseason, when the Browns got him, I thought you can't pay that much money for somebody who's, I mean, unless it's Tom Brady and in his prime, not Tom Brady in his 40s, unless it's, somebody like a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady, there we go with our favorites, in their prime, you can't pay that kind of money. I mean, better to better to suffer through another bad year, have a good couple of draft picks, because now they got nothing for next year. They got nothing. So anyway, thankfully I'm not an NFL owner. Well, thankfully, no, it would be a pretty good gig, but I would take the job if somebody offered it to me. But it just seemed like a boneheaded thing at the time, and I think it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. It already has. I think it's going to continue to bite them in the ass. So there you go.
And I do want to make this announcement because I know it was a little bit of a controversy with the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to watch the Miami Dolphins get beat by the Kansas City Swifties,
yes,
you had to have, Peacock.
Now, do you have it?
Let me continue the story.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
Because I think that all of you wives out there who told their husbands they must have Peacock so they could continue to watch Days of Our Lives, I hope you ladies let your man watch football yesterday on your little Peacock app.
Continue.
Okay. So the household here, it had on the Hallmark Channel. There was a new movie on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, my God.
But you remember, I bought that iPad for a reason.
Oh, yes.
Right on the arm of my couch.
Ah.
was a little football game
Ah.
on Peacock.
And here's the question. How did it work okay? Because I read a couple of online articles just this morning that there were so many people watching it that it kind of crashed the system for a while, and that people were complaining about how bad it looked, like real grainy and low resolution and that sort of thing.
I just thought that was the ice.
So you didn't have any technical glitches trying to watch the game?
Now, I will tell you this. I only watched the first half. And then I go, it's not pretty.
No, it's not pretty, no.
And it's not probably going to get better.
No.
So I turned it off probably for 20, 30 minutes and then turned it back on.
Okay.
And I had it on for maybe 2 minutes and I go, yep, this one's over.
Yeah.
I might as well just sit here by the wife and watch a little Hallmark.
Oh, man. Oh, you are just totally domesticated, aren't you? Oh, man. That's brutal.
But I think it's funny though, because my wife did have to, she says, honey, we have to get Peacock because I love I love Days of Our Lives.
So I didn't know this. So it's still on. Days of Our Lives is still on Peacock. Are they new? Are they new episodes, or are they just?
Yeah, they're all new episodes. Yeah.
Really?
They're continuing. Wow. Yeah. The soap opera continues, but for the ladies that watched it on NBC,
right?
If they didn't have Peacock,
sorry,
no more Days of Our Lives.
It's not that expensive. It's like what?
$5.99 or yeah, $4.99.
Yeah, 30 or 40 bucks for the year. It's not that expensive. And I've thought about it because they have Star Trek. So
and
NBC, they have all the Star Treks.
And they also carry the second half of the NASCAR races, where Fox has the first half of the season.
Really?
Let's just pause the podcast for a second.
All right.
I tried to. Oh, well, are you there? I tried to talk to this guy. I tried to talk to this guy yesterday, but I was busy. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here with Bill Stevens. You can say hi, Bill.
What's going on there, Bill?
Hey, good morning.
That's Gentry.
Oh, it's Mr. Gentry. He heard us talking. It's the boss. He heard us talking about him, obviously. We were talking about your football helmet collection.
Yeah, we're talking about your football helmet collection.
Oh, yeah, I got a good collection. You want me to get that C.J. Stroud helmet?
Yeah, what did Dad tell you to do, like, about the beginning of the season?
Awesome.
Well, you told me to get one, but they were already pretty expensive, but now they're going to be really expensive.
And you say they are investments, so you should have listened to Dad.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're going to have to pick the next one after him, I guess.
Well, we're going to continue our podcast. Are you going to be around in about another 45 minutes?
Yeah, I will be. I'm just unloading groceries. Give me a call back.
All right. Love you, son.
Groceries. Take care, boss. Wow.
How many people tell their boss they love them?
Really? I like that. That's good of you. Father and son. We appreciate it. Well, tell him I said hi too. So there you go.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah. So that all went onto the podcast. And if you want me to edit it, I will. But actually, there was nothing there of any danger of anything like that. So that's fine.
Yeah. Plus, you can, he backed up my story.
He did. They were investments. So he's making investments.
And who did he say that I told him to pick up, like at the beginning of the season?
He backs up your story. Your story checks out, as we say. So there you go. Yeah.
Man, talk about perfect
football
timing.
Helmets. Better than cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Better than buying that latest meme coin. Better than buying Dogecoin or something like that. Who knows? All right.
Again, this podcast will come out on Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
We're hoping you're downloading it and listening on Wednesday.
Yes.
But we usually record the podcast on Mondays, which would be January 15th.
Yes.
And I hopefully everything on January the 15th, Monday, January the 15th, went all right with you.
Well, it is MLK Day, right?
Yeah. And you're going to be.
I'm going to be visiting my lady. Well, because she works for the feds and they have the day off. So I'm assuming they have the day off.
Well,
she told me she was taking the day off.
Based on a not so scientific formula from a researcher in the UK, January the 15th will be the unhappiest day of the year, also known as Blue Monday.
Blue Monday. Really? And
Yes.
and why is that? I'm curious. Besides it
Unpaid.
being an Elvis song. Is that Elvis? Blue Monday?
No, Blue
No.
Christmas.
Blue Christmas. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
It's a
Right. Blue
blue
Monday was Blue
Monday.
Monday was Foreigner.
Yeah.
Blue Monday. Yeah.
But
Anyway.
unpaid Christmas bills,
Oh,
nasty weather. We can definitely say that
yes.
because, I mean, it is cold all across the United States, including Florida.
Sort of. But yes.
What do you mean, sort of? I got the space heater on
He's
next to
got
me.
his Bill Belichick hoodie on, and he's got his space heater going, and I got the heater on in the apartment here in Gainesville, so I hear you.
And also those nasty failed New Year's resolutions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Combine all that together, you've got the gloomiest day on the calendar.
So it's his theory, and I believe it, that when whatever the first day is after the January 1st holiday, whatever the first business day is, on Tuesday the 2nd, the gym is full of people, and it takes literally 2 weeks for them to forget about that New Year's resolution, is what you're saying. So by now I can go to the gym, not that I belong to one, but by now I can go to the gym and it'll be back to its usual empty state.
Yep.
Okay. I believe it. I totally believe it.
So yeah. So if you can remember back to Monday the 15th,
right,
and try to remember if that was a very miserable day for you. Hopefully, you're a little, you and your little lady friend, it won't be miserable because I think
we'll be fine.
That'll be an upticked happy occasion.
That will definitely be a happy occasion, since I have not seen her in several weeks because she's been sick and out with whatever. Fortunately, not the big what, but has been coughing and sneezing and wheezing and it's funny because literally 3 days ago I read an article online somewhere, I don't know, one of the mainstream media outlets, that the headline said basically, yes, everybody has been sick lately. And it's like everything's going around, everything. I mean, not just the big one that we hear about, but
they're also
diseases
now,
and everything.
Like you said, mainstream media,
right?
But they were also saying, I mean, there's a lot of hospitalizations, but it's like not just old people, it's across the board.
Oh, sure. I mean, and again, my lady friend, she had something and she thought that one of her grandkids had brought it home with them from school because, kids are carriers. We know that, but I don't, because she doesn't normally see a whole lot of other people. So yeah, that's probably how she got it. But yeah, she's a lot younger than I am. So, and I'm here living in my little man cave of an apartment in Gainesville thinking, I'm not going outside. It's dangerous out there. But here, knock on wood, I have been totally healthy, totally fine, totally safe. I take my vitamin C's like a good supplement person that I am. I take my vitamin C's, I take my other minerals and supplements and everything like that. And I eat pretty well. Although I think tonight for a Sunday night football game, I think there might be pizza in my future just because I've been good for the past couple of weeks. So anyway, no sickness here. Thank you very much.
Good deal.
How about you? You've been okay.
I don't know. I caught something. I'm still coughing a little bit, but that was
a little,
almost 3 or 4 weeks ago. Remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago?
I remember you
did a podcast.
You
I was
wheezing through one of your podcasts there. Yes, I remember.
So I'm definitely better, but it's not all the way out of my system. That's for sure.
And how about in your neighborhood? Because I was taking, we were talking about taking the trash out. I was taking the trash out 3-4 days ago, and there's I'm not going to say elderly, they're my age, they're probably a little bit older, maybe young 70s couple that lives in the apartment behind me, retired from Indiana, of all places. And it was just the wife walking by, and after parking her car, I saw her and I waved and said hi, and she said, "Oh, my husband's in the hospital." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "He's got the same thing everybody else, upper respiratory infection, coughing, sneezing, miserable, and it's hitting him really hard." And so he was a guest of Shands Memorial Hospital here in Gainesville for a couple of nights. So,
well, I'm thinking if I'm still hacking a little bit, it seems to be I'm coughing a little more than I even was. It went away, it got better, but I was still coughing.
Right.
Now it seems like the cough is a little, a little more regular again. I may call the doctor just to say, can you give me a shot of something? Maybe bourbon. I don't know, but
Bourbon is good. Bourbon, lemon, a little lemon juice, and a big dollop of honey. Bourbon, lemon, honey. Oh, great for sore throat. Great for a sore throat. Yeah. So anyway, well, I know they want to take good care of you. You're their poster child. So I know they want to take care and make sure you're good and all that.
Well, with a low immune system, because
right.
I don't want it to end up in the chest and
right.
Get pneumonia. Because I remember the last time I had pneumonia and had fluid on the lungs. That was not a fun 2-week period in the hospital.
I know you're kind of a very much normal doctor, Western medicine kind of guy. Do you do any other kind of supplements or vitamins or anything like that? Do they recommend anything for you? The reason I ask is of course, you go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and it's like, okay, an hour goes by and I've watched 9 videos about all kinds of crazy stuff. But one of them I watched was about this people getting sick and immune systems and all that stuff. And the guy was talking about a natural thing, a supplement, a mushroom thing. I think it's called ashwagandha.
That was in my early days. Not a hallucinogen.
I suppose you want me to lick a frog too. Yeah, no. So anyway, okay. So back to the other question: do you take anything else? I mean, like literally, I take multiple vitamin C's in a day, plus magnesium and vitamins, a couple of multivitamins. I don't know, a couple of other things. So
yeah, I take a multivitamin, but
right,
I have to be very careful with things like supplements. Because, like I said, you keep your immune system low,
right?
But will not reject the organ,
right?
Since I have 2 of them in my body, pretty important. So I don't want to. I would prefer to have a better immune system, but I don't want to raise it too much.
Right?
That it goes in there and says, "All right, kidney. All right, heart. I'm going to slap this shit right out."
You're out of here. You're not from around here. I get it. I do. Okay. So you're just being good. So take care of yourself. For all of you out there, all of our wonderful listeners, all of you whom we love so much, just take care this year. It's kind of brutal out there, but take care of yourself and try and eat well and get a little bit of exercise. And, and I know it's hard when it's like 6 feet of snow. But, every morning I get up and I stretch and I do my little exercise in my living room and all of that stuff. And I don't have to go outside. So I'm okay. There you go.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Thanks, Pops. Great.
You know what? I don't want to complain.
No.
But this week has not been a good week.
Uh-oh.
Here we are. We'll talk about, being old.
Uh-huh.
So I get out of bed like earlier in the week. And my back is killing me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's still sore. So that was starting to feel just a little bit better. Not a lot because it's still sore. I'm going outside and the garage door's open. And, sometimes when there's wind going from the back of the house to the front of the house, there's a little wind action going on. My hand gets slammed in the door between the garage and the house.
Ow!
And I mean, it just didn't go boom. Like, okay, I look down and there, of course, I'm on blood thinners too.
Yeah.
But there is just blood gushing from my hand like it fell off completely. So that's
not funny.
But my back's been sore. Now my hand's been sore for the last couple days. It's just, I'm just so sore and old. I can't take it anymore.
Oh my God, old man. It's terrible. We're going to take you out to the junkyard and recycle you. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I hear you. Do what you can.
I got to get healthier because I told you the wife's going to be out of town.
Right.
And I have a party friend coming to pick me up.
Uh-oh.
In their mid-crisis convertible later this week when she leaves. And this, and you know this man.
Oh.
So Pete Paquette, I guess, got a convertible.
I remember Pete, yes.
Not that we're going to be able to ride in it on Saturday, but he's going to come by, pick me up. We're going to do a little lunch and hang out. And
awesome.
Yes.
Is he still, for those who don't know, Pete was a boss of ours at a different radio station and not at Oldies 95.
Groovin.
At Groovin Oldies, right after the Oldies 95 days. Is he still in Orlando?
Yes, he works for Salem Communications. He's the ops manager there.
Very nice. Very nice.
So yeah, we kept in contact. We got together a few times, and I time to time, hey, the wife's going to be out of town. If you want to get together, be glad to have lunch or something, and say hey to you. And he said, well, why? And these were his words on a text. Well, I'll just come pick you up in my midlife crisis convertible. So those were his words.
Perfect. I had, I'm not going to say it was a midlife crisis. It might've been how old? Cause I think he's not quite our age, but close,
he's close.
Right?
Yeah. He's close.
Isn't it a little late unless he's had it for a long time, isn't it a little late for a midlife crisis convertible?
I believe you can have a midlife crisis anywhere between the age of 24 and 65.
Okay, fine. Okay. All right. So,
after 65 is just an old person's crisis then.
Okay. All right. So I'm out of the midlife crisis and now I'm into the old, you and I both. So, because I had my convertible, right at Oldies 95 times now that I think about it, because I can remember parking it in the lot there on Metro Parkway. Black Chrysler convertible. God, that was a nice car. Oh, that was such a nice car. I loved that car. Convertible. Yeah. That was my convertible crisis. Huh?
Mine was a Pontiac.
I remember yours was kind of wussy. It was kind of one of them little small things, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was still a convertible.
And it was red. It was a red convertible. I remember that.
And I remember that because I was doing comedy then,
Right.
And I remember, I had, some comedy gigs over on the other coast, and I'd be running down A1A, I had my top down going, oh, I am the man. This is so awesome.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Now I wonder why I got all those skin cancers.
No, that's not it at all. Not it at all. I do remember though, just to finish the thought before the break here, that I did the same thing with my convertible, and it was in that era. It was in the Miami Vice era. And I took my black convertible and we were in Miami for something that was back in married days, and drove across that bridge, the causeway in Miami, that they did that a couple of scenes from Miami Vice with his, of course, convertible Ferrari, which looked a lot better than mine, but just to do the scene and have the music playing in the background and all that. And I'm like, it doesn't get any better than this. It does not get any better than this.
I feel you. I was the same way going down A1A, baby.
There you go. That's it. All right, folks. There's some good memories, even on what might be a depressing Monday. There you go.
And before we take a break, we're going to come back.
Yes.
And I'm surprised that you are here and not in Las Vegas. And I'll explain after the break.
And I already know what he's going to say, but it doesn't matter. We will be right back.
Hey there! Did you know Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices? And when you download the Kroger app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Kroger today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. BJ Odom is with us as always. What do you mean with us? It's not like he's a guest or anything. It's the BJ and Bill podcast. So anyway, look us up on Facebook. Just do a quick search for BJ and Bill podcast. And as I always say, you have to spell out the and, A-N-D, BJ and Bill podcast. Same email address, BJ and Bill podcast @gmail.com. But more importantly, head on over to wherever you happen to download this podcast, Apple, Spotify, whatever, and leave us a review, and we do appreciate it. And before the break, BJ was telling me that I should be in Las Vegas. I think I know why. You tell me.
The annual Consumer Electronics Show, the biggest showcase of new gadgets ever.
Nerds everywhere gather in Las Vegas at this time. It's like birds of a feather flocking together. And I have been watching a lot of the YouTube videos and all of that. I haven't seen anything like amazing or cool yet, although I did see one thing, and I think it's Samsung because they're big into TVs. That's kind of their jam. It's like a semi-transparent television. Have you seen that? I mean, that's crazy. And I can't even imagine why I would want one. But apparently, like, you could hang it like in front of a window, almost like a curtain, but you could see through it when you want to. And then when you turn the TV on, you could make it as transparent or as not transparent as you want, which kind of sounds like, okay, that's cool, but would I use it? Do I want it? I don't. It's like one of those things that's like, oh, that's really neat. I have no idea why I'd buy it, but it's really neat.
It does sound interesting.
Yeah. That's the only thing I've seen. Now, there'll be more. I'll probably go and watch a couple of the wrap-up videos at the end of the week. But yeah, there'll be more. So
now let me ask you, have you ever been
to CES? No, I have not. Back when I was in I'm trying to think of when and where I might have done it. 20 years ago, when computers were like the thing, when just the personal computer and the laptop were just like coming out and taking over business. Probably 30 years ago, I did go to a lot of regional conventions. Like I remember going to one at the Tampa at not at Amalie Arena, but at the convention center where the auto show is every year. And, just wandering around booths and booths and booths full of vendors of hardware and software. But it was all computer focused, it was all computer and IT stuff. So I did a few of those in my time and I enjoyed that's super fun. That's great fun. But no, I've never been to Las Vegas for the big show. No, I have not.
You have to do that.
You're right. Put it on my bucket list. New Orleans, we were talking before. Neither you or I have been to New Orleans yet. So New Orleans on the bucket list. Vegas for the, of course, I've been to Vegas a bunch of times, but Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool.
I was one time scheduled to work a show in Vegas, and then it got canceled. But believe it or not, I have never been, and I was so excited about going too, but I've never been to Vegas. And even Shaq invited me to Vegas one weekend. Well,
you have never, that's a whole nother story that we'll have to talk about, but you've never been to Vegas?
No, and I don't know why. And I want to, but now I was talking to my son because he goes, well, next time I go out there and see Shaq, I'll take you to Vegas.
Oh, hey, hello.
And I said, yeah. And he goes, but I will tell you this, there's a lot of walking in Vegas.
Yes.
And I go, okay, well, I'll probably just let you go.
Or a wheelchair.
No, that's true too.
Yeah. Yeah, because no matter what you do it's so, I'm not going to say it's big. Yeah, it's big. And getting bigger all the time. I was there for a convention, a network marketing convention, but that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. But I hadn't been there. Like I went 3 or 4 years ago and I was kind of cooped up at the Mirage Hotel, which I really liked, but it's an older one now. But then it had been probably 15 years since I had been there. And it's completely different. In Vegas, there's no feeling of nostalgia in Vegas. If you go to downtown Gainesville and it's like, oh, here's the historic courthouse that's been here for 100 years and we're going to rebuild it and make it pretty and renovate it and build around it and all. No, in Vegas, it's like, tear that sucker down. Just tear it down. We can put up a new hotel in a year and double the size, So anyway, long story short, Vegas, yes, no matter what you do, you're going to be parking a mile away from your hotel or in their parking deck. And then it's a mile to walk through the hotel, and then it's a mile to walk down the hallway to get to your room and stuff. It's a lot of walking. It really is, which is good because you work it off because then you go to the buffet and you eat like a dog for 3 meals a day.
Yeah, probably about 5 or 6 years ago when Gentry was actually touring,
right,
with Shaq.
Right.
I was invited to Vegas, and I was all excited about it because I'd never been to Vegas. And then I forget what happened, but Gentry said, well, I'm going to be working like most of the time, but we'll be able to spend some time together.
Right.
He was also flying to Indiana.
Right.
So I said, oh, let me just fly in. Since I already had my ticket to Vegas, I changed it to a ticket to Indiana because he was going to be flying to Indiana to see his mother.
Right.
And visiting family there. So I said, I haven't visited family in a while. So I actually flew up to Indiana instead of going to Vegas because, he did say he was going to be busy most of the time. But now he said he's going to go out there and see Shaq again, apply for what hotel he's playing at.
Cool.
And he wanted to know if I wanted to go. And I said, yeah. And then he told me all the walk. And I said, maybe that was his way of saying, he'll say no.
He'll say no. Just say no. Again, second time today. Please say no. Please say no. Please. Vegas, I mean, it's changed. It used to be you could find bargains and, you could have breakfast at, 2:00 in the morning and it would be like $3 for this monster breakfast and stuff. They used to do that. And now I don't think that, and of course I haven't been there again in years and years. And when I was there for the convention, I was cooped up in a convention hall for 3 days. So the bargains, the being able to find a cheap hotel room somewhere or whatever, I think those days are over. I'm not, and again, I'm not an expert, but I think those days are over.
I remember my parents always going because my dad would go out there for conventions.
Right.
And, he would kind of say the same thing. Oh yeah, you can get a big steak and lobster dinner for like $4 or $3. Back then, I think it was like $3. And, you can get breakfast for, 25 cents,
Right.
Like, unbelievable prices, but they say, yeah, those days
they're over.
Unless you're one of the big time gamblers, you're paying premium.
Well, and if you're a big time gambler, you're paying premium because they're going to win $100,000 from you playing blackjack somewhere some night. And they're happy to give you a really nice hotel room to make you stay even longer. That's the whole plan. That's the whole plan. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I think I hate to say, I don't hate to say it. I should put it that way. I suspect that my attraction to Vegas is probably done. It's probably, I mean, I could probably go if it was a day or two for maybe again, a convention or something like that, but I don't need to go to gamble and see a whole bunch of shows and all of that stuff. The shows are cool, but again, $100 a ticket is probably on the low end for regular shows. And if you wanted to go see something at that gigantic Sphere or whatever it is, it's probably 4 times that. I don't know. So
yeah, I always wanted to go to Vegas. Another city I always wanted to go to was Los Angeles.
I guess maybe back in the day, but nowadays it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's as bad as San Francisco, but it's, it's California. I mean, it's California and it's bad.
Well, my dream growing up in high school, I always wanted to, and we've talked about this, what we wanted to be before we got into radio or whatever.
Right.
I always wanted to, be an actor, get into acting, go to Hollywood, be a big movie star or whatever.
Right.
And so I always said, I graduated, I was going to just go out to LA and just try to make it,
Wait tables like everybody else.
Yeah, but that never happened. The farthest west I ever got was Colorado.
Never been to Colorado. Here it's beautiful. Would love to go. Yeah.
Oh, the only thing about Denver, it's the altitude.
Yes.
My fingers swell up. It's not pretty.
I've never been to Denver. I have been to Salt Lake City a few times, again, for conventions and meetings. It's not as far up the mountain as Denver, but it's you can definitely, you're walking around town going. So yeah, I get it. I got a lot of places on my bucket list. I got a lot of places that I would like to see. And I keep telling myself that it's like, when things calm down, and I don't know that it's going to calm down anytime soon. I don't know what's going to happen out there. So
I would like to, wish a happy birthday. I forgot about this. I needed to wish a happy birthday
to
Barbie's turning 65.
Barbie is turning 65.
She's our age now. She's now on Social Security.
Wow. How much pink stuff can you buy on Social Security? Well, I guess
I don't know.
If you've invested now, I'm sure she's made some good money in her time because she was pretty popular for what still is. Pretty popular out there. So Barbie is turning 65. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. This is what old age feels like, isn't it? This is what it feels like when somebody says, oh, the last time I was there, it was, and then they have to think about it and go, oh, 1982. That was just a little while ago, wasn't it? No, it was 40 years ago.
Let me see how many.
This is it.
I'm trying to think how many years ago it was I got my first Barbie. I had girl cousins, so I actually had a Barbie, but
you're serious. You're serious.
But you know what? I'll tell you right now, Ken did not mess around with my Barbie.
You're serious.
It was G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
My Barbie got her a real man.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't think I had any action figures, if that's the right word. That's the word they use now. I don't know what you got. Dolls. You called them dolls back then. I didn't have any G.I. Joes, although I had friends who did. I remember playing with them, but definitely no Barbies. No.
How about those little plastic soldiers that you'd play war with?
Yeah, maybe. You'd buy them by the bag. Buy like 500 in a bag. Yeah, I probably had that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. Now, being the I was going to say creative. It's not so creative, but whatever. I had
erector sets.
Metal? Yes, erector sets. I was just thinking, what's the metal version of Legos? Erector set. Real live steel beams. Well, I don't think they were steel, but nuts and bolts, motors and chains. Yes.
Oh yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
I had that so much. Oh yeah. And I think my father kind of, just was sorry he did, because of course, like everything else, it would be scattered around the house.
And then you'd step on those suckers. Oh, they were as bad as Legos, if not worse.
Bad as Legos. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I had all that stuff. I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, let's show how old we really are. Did you have Lincoln Logs?
Yes, I did. Damn it. Came in the cardboard tube with the screw top on them.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep, I had those. Lincoln Logs. Yeah, there was not much you could do with those other than build log cabins, I guess. But
I don't know. They were fun to play with.
It was, all of that stuff was awesome because you had to use your imagination with it. And I think probably Barbie dolls are the same. I mean, by itself, it doesn't do anything. I mean, unless you bought one that talked or whatever. I don't know that they even made one of those. But yeah, you had to use your imagination. You had to put something into it to get something out of it. And I think that's missing in a lot of stuff now. These toys nowadays with kids, and I'm not a toy expert because I don't have kids, but you got grandkids. You might probably know better than anybody that for a lot of these things, the toys basically play with themselves. I mean, they do their own thing, and
it's all
like
video
you just kind of watch.
now.
What's that?
Even little kids are like 4 and 5 years old. They all got their little tablets.
Yes.
Playing their video games.
Yes.
Nobody has Lincoln Logs. Nobody has erector sets. Nobody. Well, I think some of the kids are still into Legos.
Yes, those are still big. And there are still some big kids, meaning adults. There are still some big kids that like them too. I mean, you see that all the time online, where somebody builds an entire, Starship Enterprise out of Legos or something like that. So yeah, I get it. I mean, and again, good for you. That's creative stuff. That's a creative endeavor, a creative exercise. And I think that we need more of that, rather than, like you said, just sitting and staring at screens all day, which is basically what I do all day now anyway. So I'm not happy about it, but that's where my life is now with my job and all that. So,
well, we talked about Barbie, 65.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about games we played and toys we played with.
Mm-hmm.
But do you remember in your Ohio home, did your mother and father have yellow or green appliances?
Good question. And I'm going to say green, but the reason I said that is because when my then wife and I, shout out to Miss Paula in Fort Myers, when we bought our first house, and it's the house she's still living in, it was avocado green.
Wow.
I mean the kitchen, the stove, the fridge, and then also in the second bathroom, avocado green. I mean, toilet and tub and sink and all of that. Oh my goodness. And that house, I know for a fact, because I know the man who built it, he lived next door, was built in 1961, 1962. So that perfect. I mean, it was spot on for the avocado green stuff. And it was absolutely green at that house. So,
I remember my parents' refrigerator, stove, also washer, dryer.
Wow.
It was all that green.
Avocado green.
Yep.
Not the yellow. No, I don't remember much yellow.
Yeah, I remember some yellow too. We may have had yellow at one time or another, but
okay.
I remember when we moved from the farm
right
to the big city of Rensselaer, population probably about 12,000.
Okay.
But I remember in that house we had everything green.
What was the thinking with that? What engineer, what designer, whatever creative person at Westinghouse or General Electric or whatever it was in the day said, yeah, green. Everybody's going to want this kind of puke green color.
Same with the yellow, though. A lot of people had the yellow.
I get it. That was kind of a buttery, kind of a sunshiny yellow. I think if it was me, if I had to pick between the two, I think I'd prefer the yellow. Probably just because the green has such a stigma to it. But yeah, yellow is okay. At least it's bright and sunny. I get it. But green, it's almost army green. Almost. Maybe that's it. Maybe all these companies had a lot of paint lying around from when they did stuff for the U.S. Army. And it's like, okay, now it's the 50s and 60s. What are we going to do with all this leftover green paint? I know, we'll just change it just a little bit and we'll turn it into avocado green and we'll put it on all the appliances. That'll be great. Oh, God. Oh, I hate to think of that. But, all these men coming back from the war, they're like, okay, hey.
I don't even think they had stainless steel back then, did they?
No, I don't know. It was way, way, way too expensive. You had to, stainless steel, you were building airplanes and rocket ships with back in the day. Then it was too expensive. Yeah, stainless now is, yeah.
It was either green, yellow, or white. That was your three colors.
Yes, white, of course. Everything was, now, what color is your fridge in your house right now?
We have stainless steel. Yeah, we have stainless steel.
Yeah.
Refrigerator.
Mine's black. And
That's
it's kind of
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. It is cool. I kind of like it.
We even have our mini fridges, even stainless steel.
Wow, you're cool. And washer dryer too, probably, right?
No, it's white.
Oh, you got that. You didn't upgrade.
No, wait.
You bought your new house and you didn't upgrade.
Oh, wait, I don't know now.
Oh, because you've never seen your washer and dryer.
No, I have the one in our house that usually does the laundry.
Oh, okay, good for you.
But I put clothes in, I take clothes out.
That's what else is there? That's
doing laundry. Dear.
Uh-oh.
It's white.
It's white.
I was right.
Okay, yeah, mine too. Mine are white too. Of course, I'm in an apartment, so it's like they probably bought them by the freight train full. And, it's like, what's the best, cheapest ones we can get? They're white. Okay, great. Fine.
Well, the sad thing is when we bought our house, they were at the end of the shortage deal where it's hard to get appliances, hard to get things.
Right.
And so when we bought this house, which was the first house that they ever did this to us, we were responsible for now they did have a dishwasher, but we were responsible for our washer, our dryer, and our refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah.
And is that because I know back then you've had this house for what, a year?
About a year. We're at about a year. Yeah.
That was back in the middle. Well, it wasn't quite the middle of all the lockdown stuff. Were they having a hard time getting appliances? Is that why they did
like a lot of times, you go look for appliances and it's on back order. This is on back order.
Right.
And I think the prices really skyrocketed too. So they figured, hey, we just have everybody go get their own appliances.
Have you looked around? Are they still building houses in your neighborhood? Of course they are, right?
Our neighborhood is almost completely done, but then right down the road, like a hop, skip, and just a few steps away after you step out of ours, another brand new development is opening up. And now here in Central Florida, and I read too that like the Orlando area, is the hotbed that's still hot, and it's kind of like when we were in the Fort Myers in the 90s and the 2000s, you could not go anywhere without somebody building something new somewhere.
Right.
Same thing here. There's new developments going. Like We just drove the back roads to Winter Haven just last week and went down a road that we've been down a few other times. And I'll bet you there was like 5 or 6 housing additions that were just starting.
Wow. Wow.
It's crazy.
There's a couple of them here in Gainesville area, but they're more out west side. I'm on the west side, so I drove by a couple, but not big. I remember that in Fort Myers. You know, you would drive by one day, it's a field of 100 acres of something, and then the next day it's like, boom, there's a neighborhood there. And it's like, how the hell did that happen? Well, you know, you're not paying attention. So I get it. The reason I asked is because I'm watching a lot of videos about real estate. My lady friend is looking to buy a house, and right now it's insane out there with the housing prices and interest rates and all that. And I was wondering if you've looked. I have heard, again, I don't know, but I have heard that some places, like homeowners, are like kind of cheesed because what they bought their house for a year ago, the builder is building new ones that are cheaper now.
Yes.
So, yeah. So you're even fine. You've even seen that in your neighborhood.
Now, our particular unit, probably we bought it a year ago. Right now, they're probably selling for about $10,000 to $20,000 more than we bought them for.
Right.
And I don't know, because we don't have any new units in the state. Well, there's new units going in.
Right.
But none like ours. They're houses. But I know my daughter's neighborhood, she bought a townhouse about 2 years ago. And hers right now is a little lower than she bought it for.
Yeah. That's going to be a thing. and when more stuff hits more fans in the next year or so with this economy of ours, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to all that. So yeah, I'm kind of telling lady friend, you know, don't be in any hurry to be buying a house. Do not be in a hurry. And I'm no expert, but whatever. So we'll see how it goes. Interesting.
Well, cute, but very cute, but
very
interesting.
cute, but oh boy, set the Wayback Machine for that
Hogan's
one.
Heroes.
No.
Yes, it was. Oh no, Laugh-In.
Artie Johnson from Laugh-In. Very interesting, but stupid. Or whatever. He would always add something onto it. Yeah.
But didn't Clink or whatever from Hogan's Heroes have a line like that? He had a line like that. Very interesting. Maybe that was his.
Might have.
We can look
that up. We can look that up. Oh, I'm sure it's on your Hallmark channel. Just go and watch it for a while.
Oh, not on Hallmark. Hallmark is all love all the time. There's no Colonel Clink on Hallmark unless he's like, out, finding a new bride somewhere. Come on, Bill. You know nothing about the Hallmark channel.
Nothing about the Hallmark channel. I am very proud to say I know. That was Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. Nothing at all.
That was Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, that was Hogan. I said that was Sergeant Schultz. That was his name, right? The big guy, Sergeant. I know nothing. Can't do a German accent like he can, but yeah.
That was a good show. That was a very good show.
Hilarious. It was hilarious. I mean, and I hate to say it, but I see that online now all the time where somebody will post a still from a movie or a show. Oh, God forbid, All in the Family with Archie Bunker. It's like, you can't do that now. You could not do that comedy now. It's just crazy how much you can't do anymore. And it doesn't sound like a good thing to me, but I'm an old guy, so don't listen to me. I'm an old guy who's just one of those guys that like stands in my yard and say, "Hey, you kids, get off my grass." It's like,
come look at my green refrigerator.
Yeah, come look at my green appliances.
Hey, kid, get off my yard. You want to come look at my green refrigerator?
That's it. That's the one. Hey, Grandpa, you're still buying a convertible? You think you're 25 years old still? Wise up, old man.
My daughter used to love going to Indiana to my sister-in-law, well, my brother and sister-in-law's house.
Right.
I think they had the yellow, maybe they had green, but she just thought that was the coolest thing that ever.
Oh, the old green appliances or yellow, whatever. Yeah. Really? She liked that, huh?
Yeah. And then what was really weird though, when she did buy her house and she was out looking for appliances, There was, when we went to the appliance store, there was some of those appliances. I go, oh, you should, no, I'm not going to get that. No.
Really? They're still selling them?
Oh,
Really?
yes, you could go. If you go into an appliance store, they're still out there, people.
You mean real? I mean, we're not talking like we're not talking like the Salvation Army. You're talking
No,
about
I'm
Lowe's
talking-
or Home Depot. I can go to
I don't know
Lowe's or Home
about
Depot.
Lowe's and Home Depot, but like if you go to
Right.
like there's like appliance stores that are just nothing but appliances.
Yeah.
You will find like there's a direct appliances or something like that.
Right.
You will still find some green, olive, whatever green.
Avocado.
Avocado green. You'll still find some refrigerators and stoves and all that stuff.
Fort Myers. There's another Fort Myers memory. One of my oldest memory, Bill Smith appliances. Bill Smith.
I bought many TVs there.
I'm sure I spent plenty of money there too. And that was before Home Depot, before Best Buy, before Walmart, before all of that, there was Bill Smith appliances. All these small town. Well, when Fort Myers was a small town. So yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Wow.
No. A small town is my hometown of Madairyville, Indiana, population at the most 600. And then I moved to the big city. And I was excited because we were moving to the big city. It had like 1,200. I mean, 12,000.
West side Cleveland suburbs of Parma Heights, North Royalton, Parma, et cetera, et cetera. My high school graduating class was bigger than your hometown. My high school graduating class was like 750.
I'm betting you this neighborhood that I live in,
right?
The population currently is larger than where I came from, Madairyville, Indiana.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't even think the population there is. I think it's under 600 now.
Is it still there? Is
still there?
Still there? Okay.
There's still a few stores there, but yeah.
Okay.
It's itty bitty.
What is? I almost said a stupid thing. What's the closest big town? And you'd probably say Rensselaer, right?
Well, yeah, Rensselaer, where I moved to, but no,
the big town.
I would say the big town. It's still not a big town, but it's kind of but I would still classify it as a small town. Lafayette, Indiana.
Okay, Lafayette. Well,
West Lafayette has Purdue University.
Yeah. It's Purdue. Yeah, for gosh sakes, that's a big deal. So how far from to Lafayette?
From Rensselaer, 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever.
There's no wreck on the I-65, which is or you could go the back roads and probably take an hour.
Back roads through the fields, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, the 1-lane road. I mean, 2-lane roads because you get 2 cars down them, but yeah.
Sure.
Not a highway. I'm talking,
no. I get it. Well, they had to be wide enough for a tractor with pulling a load of hay or something.
Yeah.
Hay or something.
But
man.
There's not very many dirt roads left, but there are still a few.
Okay. Okay. Glad to hear that. Well, and that, folks, is, I think we've closed every loop that we've opened on this show, which has been quite a few. So I give us credit for closing all them loops. That's awesome. Well, you don't know it, people, but we are recording this a day early. So, and we hardly talked. I mean, we talked a little bit about the games that we're already on. So, but as we finish this and we got a couple of minutes, we got 2 games tonight and 2 games on Monday night because they moved the Buffalo game to Monday night because the weather apparently was absolute whiteout blizzard in Buffalo yesterday, or when it was supposed to be. So you got any Tampa Bay and the Eagles? You give them any chance against the Eagles?
You know what's funny though? You listen to a lot of the prognosticators,
and
they're giving Tampa Bay a small edge. I mean, it's going both ways.
Sure,
but when you watch the sports shows, I've heard probably a handful of people say that they really think that Tampa Bay could win this game.
So, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, by the time you listen to this podcast, you will already know if BJ is smiling or crying. Oh, and me too, because I'm going to guess if I was a betting boy, if you were a betting man, if I was going to put money on the game, right, I would have to go. I can't say it out loud. Okay, don't. I can't say what I want to say out loud because it would just make me miserable. But I don't know how beat up Baker is still. I don't either. So my question to you is, what is the official betting line?
Well, a few days ago, it was
right now.
You go to Google right now. As of last week, it was giving Philadelphia a 3-point edge. If you were going to take the over under, I think they had 2.5 points.
Okay.
They got to win by at least 2.5 points.
Buccaneers, there we go. Eagles are favorites, but less than a right. So you are correct. It's only 3. The Eagles are only favored by 3. So that's basically pick 'em. That's close enough either way.
Now I don't know the Eagles that well, but there are some injuries over there too.
They are beat up, and they are finishing this in a very similar manner to the way Jacksonville finished, which is reeling, which is beat up and losing and kind of backslid into the playoffs. I mean, Jacksonville didn't even make the playoffs. That's how bad that was, but similar kind of a thing. They're not looking good. Not at all.
I think they should do the season.
Yes.
And then they should come back at the beginning of the season and do the playoffs when everybody's healthy.
Oh.
And then do the season, the regular season.
Wow.
And then wait a year to do the playoffs again.
Or you don't want somebody getting hurt in a playoff game and then having to start the next season injured. But if you really wanted to, you could avoid all of this, this blizzarding in Kansas City and Buffalo. And what if you finished the regular season, like we always do in December, and then had the playoffs in like April or something like that?
That might not be a bad idea.
That's it. Yeah. Boy, baseball would love you for that. Nobody's watching baseball
who
again.
Watches baseball anyway?
I know, old guys like me and you, but even we.
I don't even watch baseball.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, it's gonna do it for another week. Done, finished, and all that. 2 old guys ranting about getting old. That's all it's been. That's all it's been for an hour.
But that's great entertainment sometimes.
It is. It really is.
Get 2 old codgers in the same podcast. You got entertainment.
Nothing says entertaining like 2 old guys bitching about being old. All right, everybody. Have a great week. If you have the day off, if you had the day off, we hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your short week. So there you go. And we'll see you again, of course, next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, it's just up to PJ to say,
see ya!
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.